God, I give thanks and the highest praise. Grandma said to Mama Earth, connect God to space.
Well, hello there. It is the number 48 in a long line now of Mr. Wiggly Sunday live stream show. Thumbs up in the chat if you can hear me, please. Kind of hoping you can, so we'll wait a few seconds to make sure. Gosh, I'm very sibilant today in these headphones. Lovely to see you all. There's a whole ton of people already in the chat, which is fantastic. First in was Lady Aptitude. You're a winner. Homegrown, thank you as well. Both have donated in the past. It's absolutely fabulous. As has Robath Melted Cheese Home Studio, who has the best name in the world. Oh, yeah, Osmore Frazzle, maybe have you on that one as well. Sasquatch Ian J. Cole. Well, I wonder who he is. I think we might be speaking to him a little bit later. Steve Powell, hello to you. Paul Artola, Martin Taylor. I'm just whizzing down again, loud and clear, says Ben Breslin. Thank you so much. It was lovely to see you in Super Booth as well. I'm sure you're going to come on the show very soon. I'm really looking forward to that. We're trying to get a kind of trio of people up online for a good old sort of pub style chat, which would be brilliant. Martin Taylor, Inky the cat, she is moderating as always, so please be nice to Inky, otherwise she'll kick you out. I have to say, I don't think anyone has ever caused any trouble, I've said it now, in the YouTube comments at all, or indeed anywhere. So either Inky does an extremely good job or everyone is absolutely lovely, which are probably the latter. If you're watching on Facebook or if you're watching on Twitch or anything that isn't YouTube, pop on over to the YouTube channel. I will paste the YouTube stream link into the chat. And you can hop on over because there's more kind of funky people. There's more people. You may be watching on Facebook, but it's probably better if you come over and watch us on YouTube because there's literally more people in the chat. So if you're not, there's a link. You should see it. You can hop on over. What else has been going on? Still buzzing after Super Booth, I think, which was kind of really cool. Still buzzing about the Soma stuff. Polyend play for me. We didn't really discuss it last week, which is absolutely fine because we don't really talk that much about synths and stuff. It's more of a variety show these days, and I think a lot of other shows do the discussion a lot better on terms of synth news and stuff, Sonic State and so forth. But the wonderful Oliver Gold, and he was just exceptional last week. If you didn't happen to catch it, after the first hour, it's not safe for work, so not safe for small ears, whereas all these shows normally are. But he discusses addiction and recovery and positivity and music and life, and he's had a busy life so far, and he's only young. And what an inspirational guy! So really good. So if you didn't catch that, that was such a good show, and we raised £160 and 70 pence last week with Oliver Gold, and 2 weeks before that, as if by magic, 2 weeks before that we raised £138.50, which I didn't include in last week's numbers. And straight off the board, thank you so much, Mr. Kent Spong from the Badger Liberation Army. I am convinced badgers would beat baboons. I almost said beavers then, but no, baboons in a fight. Badger v baboon, as the ongoing thing says. Thank you so much. All donations to this show that come in via the super chat, so you can pay. You don't have to pay anything like as much as Kent Spong, because he is just an absolute genius. A big love in the chat. Hearts and flowers for Kent, please. It's just a wonderful donation. It all goes to Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital, which is an amazing charity in the UK that we all love. It's done some amazing stuff, and with the last 2 weeks worth of donations, we have a total, let me see if I can find it. The total for Great Ormond Street is £3,921. So it's now £3,971. So we're going to smash 4,000 with any luck. So honestly, guys, if we can hit 4,000, that would be stunning. Kent Spong spelled army wrong, but I don't think anyone's going to blame it. So it's honestly, it's just stunning to have raised nearly £4,000 for a charity by doing this stream. Lula May is just kind of over the moon. Absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much indeed for that. Let me see if I can clear this. What else is happening? Well, we shall see. I think probably the easiest thing to do is introduce our wonderful guest, who is Ian J. Cole. Now, Ian has done everything really in the music industry. He's done retail selling, he teaches guitar, he teaches piano, he's made music, he signed record deals in the 80s and beyond. He's got a great YouTube channel with far more subscribers than I have. I mean, he's genuinely an all-round nice bloke. Here he is. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
Hello. Thanks, Dom, and thanks for having me. He's brilliant.
Very, very welcome, sir. I mean, I didn't really know where to start, to be honest. I thought I wrote a silly nursery rhyme for your intro because
I absolutely loved it. I showed it to my wife. She thought it was brilliant.
Oh, cool. Okay, well that's good. But there's so many things we could talk about. It's mad. Questions in the chat, as always, especially kind of this. Please fire away, because Ian has got experience, like I say, of retail. He's got a really interesting YouTube series on running your own label, which kind of sparked me a little bit, because it's like, gosh, that sounds interesting. I ran a label way back when it was all about pressing records, whereas now it's all a bit more online, so it'd be interesting to know about that. But I also see your
net label.
Okay. Yeah. So I also see you're teaching keyboards, reviewing kit. I mean, it's amazing. It's pretty diverse. Maybe that's a problem in itself, because people find it hard to sort of package you into one stream. I don't know.
I did wonder about that when I started the YouTube channel, because I started the YouTube channel just to put my music up there years ago, and I put a few tracks up, but then I thought, well, what I'd like to do is just the stuff that interests me, and
got you.
It's pretty diverse. So we go and do theatre. We're going to Edinburgh Fringe, and we'll do a whole load of reviews for that. We do the synth. I do the synth stuff. So it is. I don't necessarily want to be pigeonholed to some extent. I'm quite happy to be that diverse.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it is difficult if someone says, "What do you do?" and you say, "Wait, it's like, oh, okay." But in terms of having a fun life and being successful, it's absolutely fine. It's just people sometimes like to pigeonhole you, as you say.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. It's quite. I mean, to be fair, I've always been like that. I mean, the thing I didn't tell you. I mean, I said that. I think I probably said I was an academic. So for 18 years, I taught nurses to use computers.
Oh wow.
So
crikey.
I've run two businesses. I mean, I'll give you a little bit of life story.
Wow, Can you? I told you they might ask you to turn it up. We decided your vocal was absolutely perfect, but Dr. Synth is saying,
right,
can you?
Let me just go.
A few more dB on that mic, and everyone will be happy.
How's that? Is that better?
That's probably perfect. I'm sure it is. So, Ink has just pasted your channel into the chat. So please do go and follow that channel. Obviously, don't start watching all the videos now. Stick with us, but make sure that you follow
Inky,
it.
You're an angel.
You are indeed an angel.
Yeah.
Well, none of us would be here. Well, this certainly wouldn't be here without Inky. So anyway, so potted history, please.
So, right. Got interested in music very early on. My father was a musician, he was a guitarist. And I remember going to gigs from about the age of about 7. And then he became a sort of a club steward in a workmen's club. And they had bands every Tuesday. And so from the age of about 10, I wish I knew who these bands were, because every Tuesday I was sat there with a bottle of pop and a packet of crisps watching live music. And that was it. By the time I was 14, I wanted to be in a band.
Fantastic.
And my mates got together and he said, right, you can play bass. So I went down to the local sort of junk shop and bought probably a 20 quid bass. It had no brand, and managed to get it home somehow. No bag or any of that sort of business. And just didn't have a clue how to play, But that was, and it was pre-punk, so it was,
oh right, so you actually were meant to learn at that stage.
We really couldn't play. I mean, the band we were trying to emulate was a band called the Heavy Metal Kids from early 70s.
Didn't someone famous come out of them?
Yeah, Gary Holden, the lead singer. He was in Avida Zempet.
Ah, okay, yeah, cool. I didn't
sadly, he died of a heroin overdose.
Oh no! Gosh.
But but we were trying to emulate them. Their first 2 albums, we just and they were quite punky before it was punk, And when they actually came to York, and they played the local art college. and we were too young to get in. So we literally stood outside, me and my 3 mates, you know, listening to the band through the windows, you know.
Actually, I remember when I started programming for DJs and so I was too young to get into the clubs, and I found myself saying at Superbooth, I was amazed at some people kind of making techno that had never been to a techno club. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that in the slightest, but it will influence you to, you know. And then I thought, actually, I'm just as bit guilty of that. I made dance music for ages without going out. You know, it's and then I realised, you know, going out and checking it is a good thing. Okay, so you learnt bass, or
I learnt bass very badly. And then after about probably about 9 months, it wasn't that long, the members of the band said, you're not very good. The guitarist is going to go into bass and you're going onto keyboards.
Fair enough.
Now, luckily, my dad, by this time, my dad was the working, he was in the working men's club, and they had a Hammond organ. So I literally I went down to Banks Music in York, and I bought a Rolling Stones book with chords in, and it was really early. I think it was the album was Between the Buttons,
right?
And I learnt some of the songs just looking at the chord sequences because it was
nice
keyboards.
Nice, yes.
You know, and I didn't appreciate that I had this really fantastic dual manual Hammond organ and a Leslie cabinet.
Wow.
You know. And at that time, it was just, I didn't really know what I was doing, really. You know, I really didn't know what I was doing.
Wow.
And for my birthday, I asked for a key, for an organ.
Right.
A portable one, and I got a gem organ. Which I mean, I have no idea what you mean.
They were
single manual. It had about three sort of.
It's probably worth thousands these days.
Probably are, yeah, you know. And then, so I we were in the band for a few months, and then we did our first gig, which was probably horrendous, really. You know, we were probably really bad.
It's a rite of passage. It's a total rite of passage.
Yeah.
There are a huge number of questions going on. Well, a huge number of the same question going on. So we might as well clear it now before we get too far in. Kent Spong asks you, where can I get Ian's T-shirt from?
You can't buy this anymore. It was, it's Radiophonic Workshop, and it was a special edition that Electronic Sound did.
Oh man!
They only did, I think, 50 of them. You know,
and how long ago?
I'd have bought 2, but I only bought.
I was going to say, can we? Is it copyright to? Still copyright to do? I don't know. Open source? I don't know. Yeah. Open source and print them up or something.
Yeah.
Adamski, hello, Adamski. I'm torn here, Adamski. Sorry, I've got a note to say hello. The lovely Faith, I believe, gave her whole pocket money to us last week, and I promised to do a jingle, and I'm sorry I haven't had time. I'm really, really sorry, because it almost sent me to tears. And then when I did check your message, it said something, only joking or something at the bottom. So I wasn't sure if it was a real thing. It doesn't matter in the slightest, because thank you so much. But I owe you a jingle, whatever happens, if you see what I mean. So entirely my fault. We've had such a busy week. So I will do you a jingle, and that's all I can say. So apologies, huge apologies to Faith, and I hope I understood your original post last week. I promise we'll get it right for next week. Kent is saying gems now go for 40 quid.
Exactly, yeah. That's probably what it was when it was bought.
Oh dear, yeah, it probably was. Robath, will Ian leave the stream via a telephone? It does look a bit like a TARDIS, actually. It's bigger than it looks. That's really fab. You know. So you were saying that's a shed that you're in. I mean, it's like a fab
it's a garage. Door. It's half a garage. Wow. So we live in a townhouse, and this is literally half of the garage, and then through that wall is all the junk that you can normally get in a garage.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. So,
we had it. Yeah, we had it done about, I don't know. Actually, there's a lot of videos of the builder doing this as well, because I asked for extra soundproofing from just a noise point of view, because obviously, James,
of course, yeah,
our living room is upstairs, you know, and it made. I mean, he put extra thick plasterboard on and all this sort of stuff. It made absolutely no difference at all.
anything structural like bricks,
Yeah.
it will just go straight up. Okay, we have a wonderful message from Adamski. No stress, it wasn't all her pocket money, just £10 a week. Well, it was her pocket money, that's the point. So Faith, if you're watching or if you're listening on Rebound, thank you so much again. And it's entirely my fault I haven't done a special jingle for you, and I will get it sorted for next week, I absolutely promise. So thank you very, very much for that. Yes, indeed. Can I run a very quick thank you to everybody who has given towards Great Ormond Street in the past, because we also missed that last week. It was so disorganised. So many people have given that we have a big thank you video that names everyone so far. So if you do want to be on this, you'll be on there forever. Please just hit that the super chat message, give a little towards us, but wait until the end of the video, otherwise we won't be able to say thank you. So here we go.
Hey, step inside, I give thanks and the highest praise. Ground myself to Mama Earth, connect out the space. Within the hallways of the heart, the mind and the state of being that I am as I vibrate. At a wake, oscillate like horse crystal, Mama May. Earth, brother, I know run solidly saying, I'ma say our heart is the brightest of suns, and we'll let it shine away, overlap and envelop each other in love and light. Hey, simultaneously synchronized this energy, symbiotically sacred geometry, contemplate the symmetry and this imagery as we integrate the knowledge. This wisdom, see what the symbols mean and bodies for the temple beat. With a life force, energy resides in the chemistry, bioelectric being the top and indefinitely receive and perceive the physical machinery, conceived by the source, recognize that it blessed be rolling and I can't breathe. Conscious living never hurt me. One love, energy and sexy. Wind your line to the champion sound. Baseman move to the energy. Sunlight bread in a one way. One love, set your heart free. Wind your line to the champion sound. Winding time to the champion sound.
Yeah, Jim Glue saying mass decoupling. I think you build a room inside a room on springs and stuff, don't you, to get that kind of thing going. Yeah. Faith says thank you so much. Oh, I was worried, Adamski, so thank you, Faith. Thank you, Adamski. And there's a few things about the townhouse. What does a townhouse mean for our American friends?
It's like
a big. It's just a detached house, isn't it? I think in a town.
Actually, ours isn't detached. Ours is a block of 4. Okay. We are at one end. We've got we've only got one neighbour, which is that side.
It's just a phrase, basically.
It is. We live on the first floor. There's the studio. There's my study come office next door, and which is also doubles as a bedroom when we've got guests. It's got a shower. It's got this house has got three bathrooms, and it's ridiculous. And so we live on the first floor. So we've got lounge and kitchen and dining room on there, and then 3 bedrooms upstairs.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Very, very nice. And you're still banned to the garage. I'm still banned to the garage, exactly. Yeah. Actually, it gets a bit cold in here. I have got an oil heater down here, but it's the only bit of the property that's not heated. Oh, no. But does it get... Thank you, David Serchek. That's an amazing $4.99. I truly appreciate it. Let's see if we can smash that 4,000 today. Would be amazing. I think we're about £30 away or something. It would be absolutely brilliant. So thank you, David. And you've also given a lot before, so I really, really appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. And you've taken our ears off, which is super good. So back to the bands then again. So let's just pick up from where we left off and started talking about your T-shirt. So you've moved to keyboards. You've had the organ. Keyboards. You bought a gem. And then I got because my dad died when I was 18, and I needed something better than just the gem keyboard. So my mum lent me the money to buy a Kruma Roadrunner. Oh wow! Which we went over all the way to Scarborough, to a place called Burntees. It's gone now. It was a record shop that had musical instruments upstairs. And the telling thing of that particular day that we went over was the guy that served us was a musician, and he was in, I forgot the name of the band. They had, back of my hand, the Jags. Oh, yeah. He was in the Jags, this lad, and that was the day that his mate came in and said, "We've got signed." Wow.
We were still in. We'd literally just done the deal. My mum had paid for this piano, and his mate came in. He says, "Oh, we've got the deal."
Proper deals as well back then.
It was exactly. And I remember the last thing I said to her was, "Well, good luck on your first album."
So it was I got your number written on the back of the yeah. So that was early 80s.
Yes, that would be probably. It might be 1980 actually, 79, 80.
Wow, great. Almost coming out of pub rock at that stage, wasn't it? It was all sort of lots of live London bands coming out. And, big love to Mark in the chat. Has come up, Pierre the Acid Clown. I entered some music into the kitchen utensil jam competition. You've got until Tuesday to enter. You have to make a tune from sampling only bits in your kitchen. So I managed to do it. It's a really terrible.
If only I had the time.
Well, I've said that the last challenge they had, which was, I think it was sample anything you want, that one. And this time, last night, I just thought I've got to put an entry in. So I've made an absolutely terrible thing in 2 hours, but at least it's there and I'm not procrastinating. Yeah. Okay, so he got a deal.
He got a deal. I then joined a band who were. For about 30 seconds, well, they were signed to a small independent record label.
Oh wow! Thank you so much. If you can't buy the T-shirt, then Lula May will have better use for the bucks. Oh, Robar, thank you. That's so kind of you. I do think we should see if we could get some of those made legally.
That would
anyway,
be great.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I'm going to make a note of that. Sorry, thank you, Robarth. Yeah. Really appreciated. Very, very much appreciated. Carry on, Ian.
So the gem organ had gone by this. So it probably had got faulty, and I swapped it for and I had mainly because I'd seen Blondie in '78 on the first major tour, and their keyboard player Jimmy was using a Farfisa compact duo.
Ah, right.
So I bought one of them second hand. With the 70-watt amplifier that came with it, and I managed to blag my way into this band, who were, if you like, the hottest thing around because they had management. They were about to sign their first record deal to a local independent record label, and literally I did the audition. I said, "Oh, I'm going to get. I've ordered a synthesizer. It's coming next week." It hadn't. And I said, it'd be so much better than just the organ and the piano.
Yeah.
So I got the gig. I literally went down to the music shop in York, and a mate of mine worked there, a guy called George. I said, "George, what synths have you got for about 150 quid?" And he said, "I've got a Korg 700.
Oh.
I went, and quick play, I went, "Right, I'll have it." I said, "But I haven't got the money." I'll pick it up on Wednesday. I think I had 20 quid or something like that on me.
Yeah.
Give him all I had in my pockets. So I'll bring you the money on Wednesday, and I'll take it then. So for the first rehearsal, which was the following Saturday, I had the Kroomer, the organ, and the 700.
Wow.
So I was in the band really.
Fantastic.
And listen, we had 2 weeks of rehearsals and then straight to the recording studio in Hull, Fairview, and recording the first album, which was just, it was...
Well, fantastic introduction as well. Not many people walk in like that and just jump in.
Yeah, they had some really, really good songs, this band, and they'd done a slow... sort of slow song, and there was no keyboard parts for it, and so literally I on the morning of the last day, we were there for 2 days. It was one of those sort of 14-hour day things. I literally turned up early, got a lift with the bass player over early, and I literally spent the first hour working out a piano part for this, this song, which so literally within and then 2 hours later we'd recorded it.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Oh, that sounds fantastic. And a good moment to pause very briefly. Yeah. So were they hugely successful, or unfortunately didn't crack it?
There's a bit more to tell on this one. We'll leave it to later.
Okay, hold that thought for a second. I've just realised that poor Lula May's camera isn't isn't responding. So let's see what's going on up here. Hold on 1 second. Hello, Mrs. Wiggly. How are you doing? Oh, hang on. Let's switch on Mrs. Wiggly's mic.
I'm good. You?
Good, I'm not too bad, thank you.
It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to nice to meet you and to speak to you as well. It's a beautiful day.
Let's
Come out.
have a look. Extra camera.
Hi everyone. Hello everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Quite worried about the quiz.
There we are.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
it is a good
I
one.
do like a quiz, but I mean, I was at a quiz on Friday night and we came 6th, so out of 10. So that's not great, is it?
So now you might do a little bit better on this one.
You think so?
You never know.
Okay, let's add you. Oh, look. You see, I was saying earlier, the talent never turned up to the sound check.
Hi, Lula
Okay, so
May.
you're on.
She's not got headphones
Oh,
on.
she's got headphones on, that's right.
Yeah. Hi,
Just
Lula
saying
May.
hello to you. How are you doing? Good? Okay. Let's try and keep this one in focus.
Oh, I just realised. Sorry, I haven't got my glasses.
Okay, no worries. We can wait. You want to
Sorry,
grab your
I won't be able
glasses?
to read a thing.
Good evening to everybody in the chat from Lula May and Mrs. Wiggly on their behalf. While Mrs. Wiggly pops off to go and get some glasses, she made some amazing scone. Oh, not sure. If I
Is
should
it a
have said
scone
that.
or is it a scone?
Well, let's open it up. Let's open it up to the chat. I think we can do.
See,
No, don't say that.
Yeah, no, we'll have to ask the other one. I know. I think that was actually. I've given away a question, but
Oh.
sorry. Poll. Let's do. Add a poll. Scone as in gone. Yes or no? I'm on an iPad, so it's kind of... Thank you very, very much to Movement 81 for your £8.99 for belated triathlon donation. Say a big thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. And for Homegrown, while we wait for the glasses, £5 for Mrs. Wiggly. Thank you very much indeed.
Oh.
We are so close to getting the three. Let me see where we were, because lovely Kent Spong has already given £50.
Oh my
Again,
goodness.
it's just so good. In fact, we didn't play Kent Spong's jingle. Kent Spong, can you tell me what's wrong? Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, we've got. So we had got £3,921 raised. Then Kent gave 50. We've had about another 20 in. So I reckon we're about £20 short of £4,000, which would just be
It's amazing.
amazing is the
Absolutely
word. Thank you
amazing.
so much. And this is why, because we do the quiz. This is why we're asking for the donation. So.
I will donate that extra £20. I will make it up.
Thank you, sir. That
I'm
is
not go-
amazing.
I'm
Big love in the chat, please, for Ian Cole. How fantastic. You're even paying to come on the show.
yeah. Well, I'm not sure if I do it on.
Jim Glue. Thank you so much. What a fantastic thing. Thank you for the donation, Jim. You're always as well giving donations. You're always on that list. So thank you very, very much. And thank you, Ian. If you can get a word in,
I'm just
so
trying-
much
I'm
for that.
just trying to do the donation right now. So we.
Oh, that. Wow,
So
you
we'll
don't
hear
have
it
to do it
again.
online. Oh, right. Brace yourselves, everybody. Thank you. Big love for everyone in the chat who is donating. It's really, really kind of you. And that means we've smashed £4,000 of it, or rather, you
Wow.
have. Well done.
Oh,
Lula May, look
I'll
at
have to do it
that.
later. It wasn't credit card details.
Yeah, it's a little something I set up earlier. you know.
Yeah, I'll do it afterwards then.
Don't worry. Yeah, you can donate directly.
I'll
Actually,
do
that
that.
is a very good
Right.
point, because we make up the difference between YouTube, because YouTube takes a percentage,
Right.
and I make up the difference for YouTube. But it's fun to donate that way anyway.
So is that-
I will paste. Hold on, while we're here, I'll give you the direct
Cool.
link. Unfortunately, it doesn't set off the horn, but one
But we've had
second.
that.
Yeah, exactly. If you go to mrwiggly.co.uk/live, it will give you this link, but I'll paste it in the chat now. So YouTubers, let's give it to everybody. YouTube, Facebook and Twitch. There you go.
Did you change the text?
I think it says you're still 9. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it does.
It does. So the answer is no. I'm terribly sorry.
Change it.
I will change it, and we also owe Faith a jingle as well. So I've got to write it down on my list. Okay. So if you do want to donate directly, that's awesome as well. It doesn't give YouTube any money, which is fine, and it saves a little bit of money at this end, but the horn won't go off. But I'll spot it, and I'll try and thank you next week, which would be ace. So thank you very much. Right. Just before we kick off with the quiz, I think I had something. Did I have something? We've got Lula May's Logic to come up at some stage, but we can do that afterwards. No, it's all ready. So do you have some questions? Yeah? All right, so everybody in the chat, look for... I forget this every single week. Something like all chat, not best chat or whatever. It's basically you want to see... Top. No, I don't think it is. It's the opposite. Top chat is a few top ones. What you're looking at. Yeah. This is the answer to one of the questions from before, the horrible ooze tube. Yeah, so don't live chat. Thank you, Wagyu. You need to be searching by live chat, otherwise you'll miss half the answers as they whiz down. And maybe if I write that down
Lula
and
May, please
stick
don't
it
eat
on
any of
all.
that.
All right, we have to have this back then.
Do not eat any of that.
Why not?
It's bad
Why?
for
Because
you.
it's too late and it's too sugary and it'll...
Okay,
Just one sip.
No.
Why not?
come on, we're
No,
live.
come on.
Why not?
You can have it another time.
I had it last time.
Wow. That's very good of you, thank you. Live to the nation, no sugar at this time of night. Okay, so anyone can enter. There's no prizes, but we're kind of hoping that Ian will get a few points. Do we remember who's top of the leaderboard? Mrs. Wiggly all got a bit confused. Wagyu usually, basically. Wagyu kind of normally wins
No,
everything.
we need to sort that out. Every week we say...
We do.
Sort it, or you don't.
Yeah. Are you looking at me or am I looking at you?
I'm looking at you.
Okay.
Your show, your stream.
Okay. All right. Eyes down. Ready for the first question? Here we go.
It's not the next.
My bad. I'm terribly sorry.
Whose party did I go to this afternoon?
Okay. Whose party did Lula May go to this afternoon? This should be an easy one.
Her best friend?
Yes, but that's not close enough. We need a name, I'm afraid.
Oh,
You have the advantage. Oh, no, it's not Amelia's, Tilly's, Ella's.
I've never
Poppy's.
mentioned her.
She's a new friend. She started recently at the school.
No, not a boyfriend.
Annabelle?
Oh, no.
No.
It's 3 syllables. Inky the cat says she was first. No, it's not Lizzie. It's not Poppy. It's not Mary. Not Sarah. Daj, no. Amelia, no. Anna. Should we give them a clue? Do you want to give them a clue what it starts with?
It's two names mixed together.
Oh, yes, it is. It's one name, but it is actually consisting of 2 names. Wow. Good
There
clue.
is a song about this name. I think.
Yes, there is, and it's loved by synth nerds to some degree as well. Certainly, Failed Muso is a fan of this band, I think.
I'm going to go with Carrie Ann.
No, but that's an excellent guess.
There! Ragu.
Yeah, Wagyu's got it.
Is he?
Told you it was Wagyu.
Oh,
Rosanna.
yeah.
Big up in the chat for Wagyu. Rosanna. He's just too fast,
good.
isn't he? He's
So good at
too
this.
fast. Oh, right. See if I can find the
Even
wrong.
without Googling is good.
Yeah, you can't really Google that. At last, you got some ungoogleable questions. Okay, here we go.
What present did I buy her?
What present did Lula May buy her? Here we go.
Sweets?
Do you know what? I don't know. What was
No.
it? No.
It's
Oh, yeah, you're never going to get this.
it was a real cool present.
It's a really cool present, but if you do get it, I don't think there stands any chance whatsoever. A handbag, an M16. Yeah, that's an interesting one. A book. Chocolate, pencils, ginger cake,
Oh, ginger cake.
a unicorn. Stevie Nicks. Hello, Juanito Moore. Hopefully you'll be on in the next couple of weeks, which will be great. Ticket for a movie, a French bulldog, gorilla costume, a Porsche 911 GT3 RS. This is like the generation game where the thing went past.
Let's try and think of what kids actually like. Might help.
A toy porcupine. Can you think of a clue for this one, Lily?
It's squishy.
Tickets for a Taylor Swift concert?
It's squishy. It's squishy.
Closer.
It's squishy.
Ah, yeah. It's squishy. It's squishy.
You can just move it forward and just
Yeah, just do that. Sorry, but I'm going to put your lips right there and then it's nice and loud. I don't think you're going to get this. What do you think? No? Do you want to say it?
A.
Okay, let's do the wrong. I'm very surprised that no one got this.
A tie-dye slime washing machine, so slime multicoloured tie for slime machine.
Yeah, it's basically a tie-dye slime washing machine. And the official name is a So Slime multicoloured tie for slime machine, apparently.
It's basically slime.
It's slime.
It's like
yeah,
it's a slime game, but it looks like a
brilliant.
washing machine and it tie-dyes stuff in slime. I'm very surprised no
Tie-dye
one got
slime.
it. Sasquatch got slime. Oh, that was
Yeah.
worth a point. I didn't see
Yeah, but
Sas
after
got
we mentioned it, maybe.
Yeah, it was after we mentioned it. I saw
That's
it.
quite, yeah.
Sasquatch is fibbing. Oh my word, Sas. Oh dear. Yeah, say it fast 4 times. Tie-dye slime wash. No, forget it.
Yeah.
Forget it. Okay, so that was a bit of a weird one, got to be honest. Let's get back in the real world and have a proper question. So I think I have a back in the real world jingle.
How many Yaki Tumblewolves are in this picture?
Hold on.
Whatever
Honestly,
they are.
you move around so much. It's really funny. There you go. Is that good for you? That look?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How many Akai Timberwolves are there in this picture? Now, I'm not going to put the picture up for very long. It's a picture of a real Timberwolf with his friend a parrot, and they live in a forest, and there are quite a few Akai Timberwolves. So, are you ready? Here we go. There's the Akai Timberwolf, his friend the parrot, and a lot of Akai Timberwolves. And there you go. How many are in that picture? How many do you reckon?
45.
Close.
That's very close. Not right, but very close.
Story of my life then.
Oh, Wagyu.
Wagyu? Wagyu. 41 is the correct answer, Wagyu. How does he do it? How does he do it? I don't believe it. Did you count that? Did you do okay. All right.
I counted the strip down and then tried to.
That's good.
You know,
That's good.
but-
I made it an odd number,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't
Oh,
quite
right.
be that. But you got very close,
Yeah.
clearly. So okay, all right. Well, okay. Are you ready with another question then, Lily? All right, stand by. You're even in focus as well. So this. I feel this is going to be a good one. Okay, here we go. 1 second.
What did Mrs. Wiggly bake yesterday?
What did Mrs. Wiggly bake yesterday?
I'm
You
gonna
said
say
one of them.
Oh,
I did say
scones.
one of scones, very good, which I gave
Yeah.
away, so you get a point for that.
Did you? Right, okay.
I think it was when you went to get your glasses, but the next one is
Right, so what was the second bake then?
the second bake was not chicken pie. Mr. Wiggly's head.
Yeah, I did think about it.
Apple pie.
Oh, no, Kosh, you guys said I counted 41, but thought I double counted one, so rounded it to 40. Never mind, Kosh. New name in the chat, I think, so you're very, very welcome. Hello, sir. Oh, madam. Currant buns. Oh, I like currant buns. They're quite sweet.
Yeah, it's more of a healthy kind of, supposed to be a healthy kind of sweet thing.
They're not very yummy.
Maybe not for you and Daddy, no.
Oh, very yummy. Not cinnamon rolls, not Welsh cakes, Movement 81, but we did make a video of us making Welsh
We
cakes
should
in
make
honour of
one
Inky.
again.
I think we can have a look, see if we've still got that
Has anybody
one.
said muffins? Chocolate muffins.
Oh, well, you get a point or half a point for chocolate.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
They are chocolate. They are blank chocolate blank blanks.
Right.
So if you can think of a chocolate blank blank.
Oh, I missed the question.
That's okay. We can come back for it. I don't think anyone's going to get this one. I'm going to push the button. You ready? Yeah.
Tabanini chocolate chip cookies.
They are tahini chocolate chip cookies because that's
Oh, wow.
what Mrs. Wiggly does. But chocolate chip cookies would have been okay. What
I
does
like chocolate chip.
what does tahini taste like, Mrs. Wiggly?
Tabanini.
Tabanoonies.
Peanutty.
Ah.
I'm liking the
I
sound of these.
tasted the batter
Sorry,
and
what was
it
that?
tasted horrible.
No, they're a bit too healthy for you and Daddy, really, aren't they?
No, they're not
I
healthy.
tasted them and they were
They
horrible.
were too nutty and chocolatey.
Indeed, Pierre the Attic Clown, can you please smash that like button? And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you do wish to subscribe, it's really good for my ego if you hit that subscribe button. And we're nearly at 1 million subscribers. We're about 2,800 or something. So 2.8 million will be in a couple of weeks, I'm sure. You missed one. You missed a question,
I know
right?
which one it is. Okay, ready, go.
Okay, sorry. Stand
Yes,
by.
tahini, it is sesame seeds, but it's
Is
kind
it?
of a nutty sesame
Disgusting.
seed. Yeah, Juanita just corrected me, yeah.
What drink did you have with lunch?
What drink did I have?
No, it's what drink did you have, Lula May?
Oh,
Oh, I did say, when I wrote it down, I said, what drink did you have? Yeah, what drink did Lula May have with her lunch today? Now,
Orange.
a glass of wine, says Sasquatch. I don't think so. Orange juice is a good
Lula May,
guess.
put down.
No one really wants to see your feet, Lula May.
oh, beautiful.
They are beautiful, but I don't know one really wants to see them. I don't know the answer myself. It's not Vimto, not mango, orangina, coconut milk, apple juice. Oh, it's one of these. Okay.
What ones?
I would associate this kind of thing with old ladies,
Hey,
but it's
not an
quite.
old lady.
I don't know why. It makes me think of old
Mummy
ladies.
drinks it.
No, it's very trendy now, I'm
Yeah.
sure. All right, I've gone totally the wrong way on that one. Okay, boo, Mrs. Wiggly, Mr. Wiggly. Boo, boo, boo.
You're saying Mummy's an old
It's
lady.
a countryside. Oh, there you go. Homegrown got it. Yay! It's elderflower. Now, would that remind you of old ladies in the chat? Is that the kind of thing? I think elderflower cordial. Andrew Brooks was close there as well.
Mummy's not an old
Gosh,
lady.
that conversation went wrong. No, of course, Mummy's not an old lady.
Then why did you say old
'Cause
lady?
elderflower.
Mummy drinks
All right,
it.
I'm losing here. I was
Mummy
complete-
drank it at lunch with me.
Yeah, I'm wrong.
You're digging a hole down.
Yeah, I just have to.
Just
reverse.
to go to the next question.
Doop. Okay. Do we have a next question?
Yeah.
Okay. Do this question. This one. You can miss one there because there's quite a few questions. Do you want to do this one instead? Here we go.
What PlayStation games did me and Dad play together?
What PlayStation games did Lula May and I play together yesterday?
Minecraft.
Good, but no. That would normally be Minecraft.
I love Minecraft.
Minecraft is excellent.
Why is your keyboard all messy and white now?
It's been used up. Look, you can see it's all been used so much.
I want to take the cover off.
No, don't. It's hard to get back on
Oh,
again.
movement 81.
Moving 81, Fortnite. Bang on, well done. Point for Fortnite.
There's more!
And there is more to come. We didn't play GT7. What did we play? Okay, one's built into the PlayStation 5. And another one is a bit more obscure, to be fair. Wasn't Tomb Raider? Wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog?
Lego.
It was. Yes, I'll give you that. It was Lego The Incredibles. Well done, sir. That's 2 points.
I'm so impressed with myself.
You are. It was insanely good. That's fantastic. And the other one I'll give you is Rec Room. It's something that comes with the PlayStation. And please stop doing that. Have you gone bananas today?
No.
It's just crazy. All these people are watching you.
I
And
didn't eat bananas.
this is your show, rapidly turning into your show. You can't scrumple paper like that. Otherwise, everyone will be going, you're like setting up a
It's
horn
not
off.
called my name, it's called the Mr. Wiggly.
It is. You could be Mini Wiggly.
No.
Okay, well, we can do a Lula May stream, perhaps.
But
Maybe
I'm
for our
not-
50th show.
But
It
then
could be
you
your show.
have to be on it.
Yeah, could be the Lula May show
Because
featuring
I'm not
Mr. and Mrs.
allowed
Wiggly.
to stream on myself.
That's true. You're not. YouTube doesn't allow you to stream on your own.
I'm not 30.
All right, we have the last question of the main one. Moving swiftly
What
on.
question?
I have a feeling that music is a bit loud for the quiz. I think someone's
Back up.
turned it up. Right, are you ready? Here we.
That one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. What style of drawing did I do yesterday?
What style of drawing did Lula May do yesterday? It's a particular kind of style.
Can I have it?
There it is. Don't show it yet, though.
Or can I show them and then they can guess?
No, let them see if they guess first.
Pointillism.
Good guess, but no. Stop it. Going crazy. And you didn't have any of that green stuff either. Abstract, rubbing, contour line drawing, pointillism, again, impressionist, mandala, croquis. What's a croquis? Charcoal. Whoa, don't tell me you're tired.
I'm not.
We got that on film. In a few months, you're the help of Lula May in her own show. Yeah, absolutely, Robath. It will be Lula May's. Oh my word! It's give you a clue. It's a
Well,
it's a
movement 88 is kind of cartoony-ish.
it is cartoonish, particular style of
style.
cartoon. It's not
Anime?
English. I guess it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I put? Oh yeah, no, it is anime. You are correct. Oh. Do you want to show them the drawing?
Can't see.
If you hold it still,
Really,
sweetheart,
hold
load it.
properly.
Hang on, move back a bit, and then I'll hold it still, and then I will. There you go. Oh,
Wow.
that's pretty good, huh?
Superb. That's
So
fantastic.
I said it was manga, right? So I mean, but I think anime is kind of the same kind of thing. Yeah, amazing. It's a portrait of me, isn't it? I think.
No.
Thank you very much. No, top
Here you
drawing. Well
go.
done. Manga. Right. So I believe you have. Is that 3 points or 2 points to Ian?
I have no
So
clue.
Ian's got 3.5.
Wow.
Lula May, Wiggly.
I'm coming for you, Wagyu.
It's coming for you.
This is hot.
Yeah, it does get a bit warm
Very
in the rack. Okay, well, we do have...
Yeah, Andrew Brooks says Lula May's turning into a teenager.
I think
yes,
you are.
definitely today.
you are.
We need
You've
to
turned
have
into a teenager.
proper conversation chat after today's stream.
We do have
That's etiquette.
a new feature called Lula May's Logic. Lula May came up with a fantastic piece of logic. Actually it was last week, but we saved it to this one. So
You forgot.
here's a brand. Well, no, it was so good talking last week that we left a lot of bits and pieces out. So here's Lula May's Logic. It's fine to tread on other people's new shoes, as long as you've worn your own for more than 2 days. Yeah, that came just after you trod on my shoes. I said, please don't tread on my shoes. So there's a top piece of logic from the School of Lula May. We'll have another one of those for you next week. I think we have Lula May's question of the day, or what's it called? Lula May's proper question or big question or something. So do you want to do that one? Lula May's big question. You
What
ready?
about Mummy?
She might have one afterwards.
What are my big questions?
Okay, here we go.
What's the best thing about being a child?
There we go, Ian.
Oh, no pressure then. What's the best thing about being a child? I would say having great parents.
Oh, I like that. I like that. That's an excellent answer, Ian. I think that
We like that.
yes, we like that a lot.
I'm not
Thank you
sure
so
Lula May
much.
likes that.
Yeah, sugar.
Very, very good. Mrs. Wiggly, have you got one?
I haven't. No, sorry.
No worries. That's a really good answer. No need for a Mrs. Wiggly question on that one. That's just the better. Having a beginner's mind, Juanito Moore, is also, there's a brilliant, I think you do need a naivety to life. I think when the naivety wears off, the whole life just isn't the same. Oh, Lily, what are you doing? I've gone mad today.
Right, so I'm not really sure what you had at that birthday party, but it's obviously
Had sandwiches.
affected you in some weird way today.
Sandwiches.
Prawn sandwiches at a birthday party. I think I should have stayed. Prawn sandwiches, my word.
Fizzy
My
pop,
word.
maybe?
Okay.
Tomatoes are bad.
Tomatoes are bad. All right. Any I don't know what to say, but Faith's answer is Oh, that's a shame. The best thing about being a child, well, you don't really get to know till you're older, I think. Which is why it was kind of a question for the older people. But if you do know when you're a child, then that's good. Tahini sandwiches from Ben Brezin, that would
What's
be good.
that?
Tahini is that stuff that Mummy put on the
The cookies that you
Cookies.
don't like.
Cabanini.
panini.
Not panini.
Paninis. Tahini paninis. That's what we need.
The disgusting chocolate chip cookies.
Okay.
Right, okay, I think it's time for us to say goodbye.
Big round of applause in the chat for
Bye
Lula
bye,
May.
everyone. Have a good week. Bye bye.
Oh! No. Thank you so much for joining us, Luli and Mrs. Wiggly. It's very much appreciated. Good night, Homegrown. Thank you so much from the Wigglies. I'm going to stick around. They are exiting the building. I don't know what's gone on there. I've never, ever. Thank you for your patience in the chat. It's just back to the two of us. I think Mummy's okay. It's just a little unexpected. I've never really seen that before.
Yeah.
As you say in the chat, I think
Obviously, she's had something.
people are growing up, and yes, there's definitely those prawn sandwiches is a bit crazy. Right, we have what I'm going to do is play a track of Ian's now as a little segue, and then we'll talk about proper musical type things for a little while. Let me just see. So I have something called Reactable Live Synth. Is that
No,
that's one of the ones that, okay, so let me just see. I'll need to But that's a Just Giving link. Let me just grab your link for you and we'll be able to put it on. Just put this on.
You might not want to play all of it because I think it's quite long. Because some of my tracks can be about 10 or 15 minutes.
Do you want me to play from the beginning or from halfway through?
No, you take it from the beginning. But,
okay.
I can't remember how long this one is, actually.
Let's see.
I suppose I should check.
No, it's fine. Just need to push a few buttons. Let's do that. Share the screen. Oh! Thank you so much. I'm just clicking a few links to share the screen, and I will be able to say thank you to whoever it was in 1 second.
Andrew Brooks.
Andrew Brooks. Oh, thank you. So kind of you. Just come back to the comments. Oh my word. Andrew Brooks, thank you so much. Yes, you are in trouble, Lula May. I don't so much mind. It's the screen. Well, feet in the. Anyway, doesn't matter. I would be doing the same, I'm sure, if I was Lula May's age. It's had a pretty excitable weekend, to be fair. Right, this is the 96th Day of the Year by Ian J. Cole and Steve Parry. I presume this is the correct one, right, Steve?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to run this, kill this. And we'll make this full screen, so we'll leave this running for a little while so everyone can have a good listen. Oh, I'm a bit scared. I'm sorry, I've got you muted. There you go.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Especially the rope lady.
Yeah. I mean, this isn't typical of. Well, I was going to say there is a huge, diverse range of things on your channel. This is actually very experimental compared to some. So thank you. This is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there are some other experimental pieces on there, but this was because the backstory to this is I met Steve Parry's. He's a guy who. I'm going to butcher the name of his band now, and I apologise, Steve, if you ever see this. Huel Neofio, I think they're called, is Welsh. Right. And Steve lives in literally about 5 miles away from me. And when I had the music shop, he came in and we got chatting, and then we went for coffee together. And then I said we should get together and do a jam sometime. So we did eventually, and literally what we did is at that point in time, I had all my synths set up at above the shop. Mm-hmm. So we literally just got together. We had a cup of tea, and Steve brought this really weird prepared violin stroke guitar thing. He'd made it himself. That's all he brought. He had sort of pickups on it, and we just plugged it into a guitar amp. And so all of the sort of weird scratchy noises was Steve. I was playing instruments, played the piano parts. The bass was the Korg 700, and the my Studio Logic Sledge was in there as well.
Nice.
And we just played it live. Now it was multi-tracked, and then I quickly mixed it as a rough mix, and then stupidly deleted. I left it and then stupidly deleted the multi-track. So all I've got, that's it. I have no.
Wow.
I sent it to Steve, and when I was putting together, because the album it's from, which is called the 91st Day of the Year, which is the 1st of April. That's an in-joke, really.
Okay.
They're all live recordings that I'd done. So there was, on all of them, there was very little editing. Occasionally, a little bit of reverb was added across, to make the album sit together.
Right.
But everything on it was done at things like the EMOM, like Andy and Jim Glue were talking about So all of the stuff that I'd played over the last probably 5 or 6 years at live events as myself. Were on this album, and that way it was just the way that it came out with Steve. And I would love to do an album with him at some point.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean the textures is good. I think it was Jim Glue that was saying about just the sound of the strings and the scratching and that kind of stuff. Grace was saying who made the video to the whole thing. You did that. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't film it. It's all stock film that you can download for free or donations.
Wow.
And although I did name the rope girl, that's not a real. I don't know who she is.
Gosh, you can get that from stock. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it was all. I donated for each clip that I used, really. And I have a thing about. I love old abandoned houses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd like to go around more of them, if I'm honest. Then so. And I'd like to go and probably film it, so that sort of stuff,
There's some good YouTube channels of exploring stuff like that.
Yeah,
another one to add to your list.
I am subscribed to about half a dozen of them.
Yes. Oh, well, that's amazing. That's amazing. So what did you use for the footage? Are you using like Final Cut or Premiere or something?
I think then I might have been, because the titles, the initial titles are a bit crap now.
Yeah.
I think I was using iMovie.
Cool.
And I have since, for the last couple of years, I have been using Final Cut Pro.
Yeah, cool. Right. If there's any questions in the chat, they will be gratefully received on anything from learning instruments through to running labels, through to retailing kit, and what that's like in this day and age, through to experiences of having record deals from the 80s till today, to releasing your own music and distribution and that kind of stuff. I mean, I think I'll kick it off on the label front, to running a net label.
Yep.
What's the point of a net label these days? Is it because, for example, I could put out my tune on all the platforms with DistroKid or something. Yeah, so what does a label give me that I can't get?
Well, I mean, the way that I tend to work is that I only work with really people that I've met it was usually people local to East Yorkshire. I mean, the original idea of the label was I played in a band called the Bloody Marys probably about 10, 15 years ago, and the name Sinners Music came from that. Actually, we had a song called Sinners, and we used to have T-shirts with Sinners on and things like that. So when the original idea was we put an album out on CD and a couple of singles, and I then said, look, let me start. I'm going to start a label for that, because the band had split up by this time, and to put stuff out. I have to say, I still haven't got around to putting it on iTunes yet, but I need to get all the band members together to agree on tracks and stuff like that, which everybody's gone off and done other things. So I spent quite a bit of time making sure that I could do the IRSC codes and all of that sort of stuff, which I know that sort of bands for sort of distributors like DistroKid will do all that sort of stuff for you now. But I work on a sort of 50-50 basis with anybody that I work with. I don't put lots of stuff out. In fact, I'm not working with anybody at the moment. And like I said, I don't really like to swear, but I don't really like to work with arseholes, if I'm honest. I mean, I've had a couple of occasions where I've started working with particular bands, and because we can't record them here, I took a band over to Fairview in Hull, organised a really good deal with them. They paid for the recording, and the plan was that whatever costs were incurred in putting the stuff out, and it was entirely up to them how much they did on promotion, because I'm connected to a few promotion agencies,
right?
And I can do a little bit myself, but I'm not I haven't got those contacts, to be honest. So it's very much everybody working together when I'm working with somebody. I mean, you're right. The reality is that anybody can put their own stuff out, but actually some people just don't want to do that. I'm certainly the people that I've been working with. I mean, there was a guy, sadly he's died now, but there was a guy that he'd had a couple of hits back in the sort of 50s, and he'd had a couple of record deals. He got ripped off. He literally got paid nothing, and we were able, and he wanted to put a couple of tracks out. So we did a couple of singles for him, and he got the videos done by a mate and all that. And this guy's in his 80s, and actually, his music was not my thing at all, but it wasn't really about that. It was about, him putting the stuff out, and he started to get revenue from it, We got nothing from YouTube, and we're talking pennies rather than pounds. But every so often I'm able to send his widow a check. And he was so made up with the fact that he'd done these couple of singles, and we were able to get the rights back from one of his early songs and do that as a single as well. And so it was that sort of thing. I know, to be fair, his name was Dave. He was an exception, really, but so it's for people that just want to, that can't be bothered. Or it's messy.
There's credibility. There's strength in numbers, I guess. If you've got, it's a bit like playlists as well. Being the new A&R, if you find a label that you like the output of, generally labels put out similar stuff. You'll probably like the rest of the label. It's not always true, but in general, if you like a label. So I think the strength in numbers thing is also important. And sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say that the last full album I did was actually for Sky, I think 2017, 2018. We worked on it bit by bit over probably about a 9-month period. And he was a comic singer-songwriter. And again, he didn't really know what he needed to do to get it out there. You know? We worked on these songs. I did the drum programming for him, and we mixed it together. I mastered. I mean, I don't like to master my own stuff that I'm working on, but there was a budget constraint really. So rather than send it to somebody else, we sat on it for 3 weeks. I then mastered it, and a couple of tracks we ended remastering, stuff like that. Did the album. He had the CDs produced. He also had a book produced, which his wife had associated with. So he sold the book and they got the CD for free. It was that type of thing. Did 100 copies. Yeah. It's also on Apple Music and all that sort, and all the distribution channels. And he was happy as
brilliant.
It could be really,
Brilliant. I'm trying to get my friend Carlton on, who ran indie labels and still runs an independent label, and he does similar things. He'll produce sort of. Oh, he's a massive fan. So let's just say somebody like the Stooges or something, he'll put together all of the bootlegs he can find, all of the obscure cassette recordings of them live, massive compilation of all the stuff fans would like, and like a coffee table book of all the pictures he can license and get. And it becomes a lovely product. It's not just the music. It's a value added product, I guess, in the industry terms, but actually what you get is a really lovely thing that's by fans for fans, I guess. And he's done quite well out of doing those kind of things, and he likes that kind of punky sort of Stooges type of music, of which there's loads and loads of outtakes and bits and pieces that you can source. And it's an interesting way of still making money as a label in the industry.
I mean, it's not about the label is not about making money for me at all. I mean, it's to some extent, all right, I guess it's giving a little bit back. I'm amazed the amount of people that are not members of PRS.
Yes,
yes,
I mean, and that's true.
I don't like to collect PRS for other people. I mean, if it's a band, I would usually say, look, one of you join. And then when the checks, if they do come in, then split it between you. Rather than
it's a crying shame if you're not going through it. Sasquatch is right. It's basically boutique publishing. I think it is. Yes, it is. You're packaging it, because publishing is falling through the floor as well for a lot of things. That's interesting. And in terms of what you physically have to do as a label, I was going to say with the DistroKid type of thing, I don't know if you do get a unique ISRC code. I think they kind of cobble one, don't they? I think it is better to have your own.
I mean, it is better. I mean, I remember because this must be about 2008, 2009 when I actually go through the process of actually registering. To get the IRC code, and it was a pain in the arse, if I remember.
I remember
it took ages,
We had some. The ISRC code, in case you're not aware of it, it's the barcode that you have to put on the back of your CD product, if you like, and that number goes across all the releases. And in order they're all unique. That's how they're identified at the till when things are passed through the till. So you have to go through the process of registering, when you have to pay a registration fee, and then you get allocated them, and then you have to make sure they get printed correctly. And that is one of the annoying things about manufacturing product, I guess, in the UK.
I mean, you can buy them, I believe. I mean, I would never bother selling them, to be honest. In fact, there was a little band in York came to me probably about 3 years ago, and they said, we've done this single. I listened to the single. It's great. She said, well, can you put it out for us, in the sense that we don't want to put it on Apple, but we want the IRC code. So I went, yeah. So I gave them 4 IRs. I said, the only thing I would ask is that you put on that it's Sinners Music.
Yes, exactly.
That was all.
Exactly. If you're going to put one small thing, it defeats the cost of doing it. But I think there's a lot of. I'd like to think there was a lot of validity involved if you're running a label like that, and a lot of it is. I think the strength in numbers thing is good. You're certainly. If you're more on the dance music front, then labels like Bubble Jam or something will always be interested in their next release far more than if an artist was putting out something solo. So I think it's worthwhile.
The only caveat we tend to have is that the packaging needs to be appropriate, really. I mean, like I say, the music doesn't necessarily have to be to my taste, and it's not necessarily about selling lots of copies. Because I mean, I would usually say to them, "Look, you're probably going to sell more at gigs by doing yourself a couple of hundred CDs and flogging them at gigs at the moment."
Yeah.
But actually, you've also got, if you do a video, then we can, do all that sort of stuff as well.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Do that,
Have you got lots of legalities to tie them up, or is it generally a handshake, or
it's a handshake?
Proper factory records type stuff?
Actually, yeah. I mean, it is. It was
in the positive way rather than
no. Yes, exactly. Yeah. The only time we ever had a contract was with Dave, the 80-year-old guy, because he didn't have PRS and he didn't want to at that age. So we had a contract, a written contract, which was just drafted up between the two of us, which said that I could collect his royalties for him.
Oh, nice.
And that's the only time I've ever done that. Every time else I would say to somebody, right, I will collect your streaming royalties because, and we use a company up in Scotland. So I didn't want to use anybody in America or any of the really big boys. I'd met these guys at a thing in Newcastle. It's a company called Emu Bands. And they're great, actually. They're one of the smaller ones. You don't pay a yearly fee. Like some of them where you pay... If you don't pay them every year, then they'll remove your music.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't happen with Emu Bands. So it's a one fee, really. I think it might have gone up because I looked for a while, but it was about 60 quid for an album and 30 quid for a single or an EP, that sort of thing.
How are you finding? Sorry. I was just going to say, how are you? I was drifting into the pressing side of things. It made me think about it. Are you doing much vinyl? And
we don't do that. We would if bands or artists want to do that, we would give them a bit of advice. We've got people that we fairly reasonable to do that sort of stuff. But we don't get in that.
So this is purely getting on all the digital streaming.
It's purely
services.
digital. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of the streaming services, I mean, I know of Tidal and Spotify and Apple Music, Deezer, maybe a couple of others. I know when you click all the boxes on DistroKid, there's about 500 or something out there that you could join.
Yeah.
Do you, or do you just stick to the big ones?
I ask each artist individually. We'll go and look at something that I've probably done, and say, look, here's the complete list. Are there any that you don't want to go with? Usually what happens is the people that I've worked with have said, we'll have everybody.
Just do everything,
because the reality is that, if somebody just picks you up your track and...
Well, exactly. I don't think there's any negative about it. I just wondered if anyone's ever received any royalties from
No.
Mr. Wiggly streaming services.
Because I mean, some of it's only the really, but it's Apple and the big boys, really.
Yeah, exactly.
And even then, the royalty returns are. Well, we know the royalty returns are pathetic. I mean, and these are acts that are, if you like, local acts. They've got probably a smallish following. They're not expecting to get lots and lots of money out of it.
Right.
And I'll send them an email every so often and say, look, we've not hit the 60 quid yet.
Right. Exactly. So are you going through a broker into iTunes?
Yeah. Emu Band is the broker.
Oh, right. Sorry. Now I am. Okay.
So I have a contract with them. There's a label manager who usually we do it over email, but I have spoken to him a couple of times. They're up, like I said, they're up in Scotland, and they're great, really. So
it's really good if you've got someone like that you can actually email
and anybody.
And get in touch with.
I'm not here to promote them, but really, I've been with them for. My first stuff was 2011, 2012, which was my own stuff. So I've been with them since then.
Wow!
And I don't see any reason to change.
That's fab.
They will not provide you with IRC codes, though.
Yep.
So you'll need somebody like me or to buy some.
It's good though because it's your label. I mean, really, if you're not going to go through that process, you kind of could be doing it yourself anyway.
You could. Yeah, and lots of people do.
Yeah, exactly. A slight curveball question from David Surchek from earlier. Given all the stuff you've accomplished, what inspires Ian in 2022? Well, we quite often talk about past, present, and future. So I suppose this is a present question, as in what's in your mind at the moment in terms of moving forward.
I'll tell you what's exactly in my mind at the moment is getting back into Max MSP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did it because about 15 years ago I did a master's in music tech and learnt it then. And then I've always kept up with the latest version, and every so often, I mean, I quite like the allegorical, sort of stuff. I created a sampler which was random, and it would trigger everything at random. I mean, this is back in 2011, 2012, so it seemed like it's probably a lot easier to do it in something else now, So I created this Max MSP program, but actually, I always like to have an element of being able to do something while I'm recording it. So I've got this thing, anything up to 12 samples it will trigger, but I've got delays in there, reverbs, all in Max MSP that I can tweak as it's triggering things. And actually some of the earliest stuff was done that way,
Okay. So
that's
interesting.
It can't be mixed down. It's when it's recorded. It's recorded. It's a stereo track at the end of it.
Yep.
If it's crap, it never sees the light of day. But yeah. So, and I'm sort of getting back into doing that. I mean, last week I was spending some time trying to create generative melodies,
right?
And do it. And it took me all week, and it sounded awful. So it needs more work, really.
It's the principle, though, and it's actually getting the sound come out is pretty inspirational. Have a look at Unreal Engine. I keep banging on about this to everyone. Yep, Unreal Engine 5. Ignore the fact that it's a game building engine. It has, in my opinion, what a Max MSP should be today. It is incredible. It's a drag and drop. I'll have an oscillator there, a filter there, an envelope here, and in Unreal Engine what you can then do is say, and by the way, I want it to appear over there and fly over your head depending on where you're pointing your gun or whatever it might be. You can forget about that though. You just say I want to build a synthesizer or a drum machine, and it is connect it with wires, drag and drop stuff, get a clock pulse. It's absolutely brilliant. What I had problems doing, because I could drag and drop and there's enough on YouTube to go, here's how to build a sampler or something. What I had problems with was making a front end buttons and knobs to slide around to do stuff, because you're back in the Unreal's more 3D, and all I wanted was a flat 2D button pushing thing, and there aren't many tutorials for that because no one makes flat 2D games in Unreal anymore. So I just paid this amazing guy on Fiverr for 5 or 6 lessons, and he's just brilliant, this guy, and he taught me how to do the front end in 6 hours, £30 an hour.
In Max MSP you can do all of that front end stuff very easily.
You
can present it. I mean, I did remember, I haven't gone back to this because it was as buggy as hell, but I made a Korg DW8000 Max
brilliant
MSP.
Brilliant.
And I mean, the biggest problem was getting polyphony. I mean, I still couldn't tell you now how I got polyphony, but I got it, And I almost dare open it up again because it would be
brilliant. I mean, to be fair, putting the front end together in Unreal is easy as well. I just didn't have a starting point. It turns out you have to add a tiny little script at the beginning when the game launches to say, kind of, make 2D and load this. And it's not anywhere in the manual, do you know what I mean? And I'm like, and apparently it's some boilerplate. There's 10 lines of code, and this guy was like, "Oh yeah, just do that." And then suddenly I'm putting knobs and buttons, and I've got drum machines going in there, and it's absolutely brilliant.
I need to have a look at this.
Yeah, it's absolutely free, and even if you put stuff out on it, you have to be turning over something like £500,000 before they even charge you anything as a royalty. So. It's the guys behind Fortnite. They've put their money from Fortnite into a really, really good system, and it is amazing, absolutely amazing. So, 5 is just out. So,
the problem with Max MSP is it's not cheap.
No,
it's not that. It's what? Is it 600 quid, 500 quid?
Yeah,
for the full,
and I think Unreal, in terms of what it can do now, is kind of ahead of the game. It's just a different mindset. It's like a bonus. It's like they've sat there and thought. I mean, the visuals in there are insane. It's like looking at real video footage of stuff. But to find this under the bonnet, it's brilliant. Anyway, I don't want to go on too long about it, but yeah,
No,
completely
but
free.
I will have a look at it. Yeah.
If you're about to get back into it, it's
I
definitely
am. I mean,
worth.
like I say, I hadn't touched it for months, and I thought I need to. I don't want to lose skills because but I actually started to just go back over stuff and started to try and make. I mean, that's why when Andy Bucks was saying about his modular. I mean, I don't want to do modular because, to be honest, you're sort of doing modular in Max MSP, but I can tidy all the leads away. Max MSP, I can with one click of a mouse, I can actually have them rooted, and they're not all over the place. Whereas physical, and I know you are into modular stuff. The rat's nest of wires, in real life would just do my head in.
Yes. Yes.
So,
it's quite funny. I don't want to get too techy about it, but talking to this chap on Fiverr, who is a really good coder, actually, it turns out, about how you do something with wires. You basically replicate everything and it looks like massive. And I'm going, well, why? If you're doing the same thing twice, you should really set up a kind of loop, or you know what I mean? And we're having these sort of great big debates about it. But no, it's brilliant. Homegrown saying, does Unreal have a specific VST library? No, I don't think so. I don't think it does. I'd have to check up. I don't know. I haven't even got that far. I'm sure you can package stuff up with inputs and outputs and squirt stuff through it, but it's gonna.
I sort of half missed the question. There's a question about was I doing visuals with Max MSP?
Oh,
no,
okay,
no, I'm not.
completely.
But actually, I'd like to. So I'm going to probably have to. I'm probably going to do a course on that rather than just wait for YouTube videos. I think I probably need to do because there's Hackspace do some really good courses.
Yes.
Have you heard of them?
Yes, I have.
And I do go to their Max MSP meetings when I can, which is usually on the Saturday afternoon.
Cool. Well, hopefully it's under active development and stuff, which would be really good. I was going to say Movement 81 have been on the show about 4 weeks ago, I think. And they are just so talented visually and musically. So, I mean, they were talking about using Resolume, which is a system that will broadcast onto multiple screens, across huge theatres and stuff, but also does a lot of that stuff. But Touch Designer, I'm not sure about.
I mean, Hackspace do some courses on Touch Designer. I've not looked at that at all. So I couldn't even tell you what it does. I mean, it sounds like it does something visuals, but I don't know.
Yes.
So. But I have to limit my time with that sort of stuff, really, because it is a rabbit hole that you could literally.
Well, yes, absolutely. I enjoy going down those holes as well. So there's no coming out. It's like, do you know that track I had to do? I'd rather build something in this. A couple of big ups for Pure Data as well. Yes, indeed, Sasquatch and a couple of other people.
And Pure Data is free.
Yes, indeed.
It's the earlier version. It was the guy. That's Miller Puckett who invented Pure Data and Max MSP. So there was I think I might be wrong about it, but he's certainly Miller Puckett was the guy that came up with it first. Okay. And then for some reason it was hived off, but he then wanted to do a free version, which I think is Pure Data.
It's Pure Data, because I know Sentien's amazing, hanging the iPhone up and it making wind chimes by blowing in the wind. That's got a lot of Pure Data patches in there, which is it's a brilliant time to be alive at the moment with all this kind of stuff. Really, really cool. I will just check to see if there's any other questions chat-wise. It would be great. Yes, there was from Sasquatch. I thought there was. If we flip over to the retail.
Right, here
actually
we go.
Selling product. I mean, what's that all about in 2022? That must have been a nightmare, right?
Yeah, it is really. I mean, margins are very small. I mean, no matter what anybody else says, margins are very, very small. Especially if I can't talk about the big guys like Toman and Gear for Music, because I'm sure that they do special deals. And when we had the shop, the argument we used to do was, look, offer us the same deal as everybody else. If we don't take it because we can't afford it, or we decide not to, then that's up to us. But don't tell me that you haven't done a special deal.
Yes.
I mean, we stopped dealing with quite a few companies because we knew the big boys would do. They were buying products and selling it at less than our trade.
There was a situation in the electrical retail kind of world a while ago that I heard about, which is, I think products like, for example, Sony TVs or something like that from a particular distributor they would give you a kickback if you reached a certain target, which is fairly reasonable. So look, I don't know what the number's like, but if you sell 1,000 of these TVs, we'll give you back, £20,000, whatever those numbers are. I have no idea. And on that basis, really, they would then sell the products at cost, because no one could sell it cheaper than cost, or even slightly below, knowing that they'd shift 1,000 of them and their profit would be the 20 grand kickback. So there were all these box shifters online that were just selling things for a cost that you would never be able to compete with as a small retailer, because you'd never hit that 1,000.
I mean, we stopped dealing with Zoom, Zoom because of that, because we'd Gear for Music would have it at roughly our trade price that we're buying things in at, and we rang them up and said, look, well, have you done a special deal? Oh, no, there's no special deal. But
there has to be, right?
There has to be something going on, and we couldn't compete. So we just stopped ordering from them, really.
I overheard one large retailer representative discussing potential retail price with one of the smaller manufacturers, which I guess happens. I don't think it's particularly anything wrong with it. I don't know, but you're going to one of the big shops and saying, how much do you think we should sell this for? And they're saying, well, I think you should sell it for this, and therefore your trade price should be this. Maybe it was a bit of a weird one. I don't know. Made me feel a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
but
there are some good guys. I mean, we've dealt with Korg for the last 9 years, still do, and I've got a very good relationship with all the guys at Korg, to be honest. We've been down to their offices and stuff like that, and and our Adam, our area rep, knows our situation now, that we're only online, that we don't have a showroom anymore, and that the actual music shop that we sold and subsequently has closed, through no fault of our own. I should probably explain that situation. We had the music shop until we decided that Jane wanted to retire. I didn't. I can't see myself just sitting watching daytime TV, really. But actually, we ran it together. We always had for the 7 years that we had it. So we found a buyer for it, and who sold it literally. We left. Our leaving party was the December before COVID. So the guy takes over in December. By 1st of March, he's in. Well, it wasn't the first. It was later on in March, wasn't it? But by March, he was in lockdown.
No.
And although we tried to help, and he was a young guy. He's a young guy, But anyway, he decided to go down the insolvency route eventually.
Right.
After 18 months.
Dear.
And
a shame.
And it is a shame, really, because the town's lost its little music shop.
Yeah.
And the profitable bits of the business were actually lessons, because when we had it, we would do anything up to 350 lessons a week.
Really?
We had a whole team of tutors. Yeah.
Crikey.
Now, clearly, when the pandemic hit, that business was decimated for him.
Yeah.
But that business is now coming back, because I only teach on a Wednesday afternoon. But actually, we've been inundated with people wanting lessons in this area. So there is a shortage, And
wow.
Things that we don't do, like drums and all that, we can pass on to the old drum tutor and stuff like that. But retail's. I don't quite know why I'm still doing retail, to be honest. 'Cause it's not, there is fun. Actually, the customer, the nice customer, whether they're online or whether they're in person, and we do see, we've got offices in the next town, so we do see real customers.
Yeah.
Come and visit the offices.
I think it's lovely,
and it's great. I mean, a lady came just before Christmas and bought a guitar from me. She was a nurse, and she, we were talking about, how it had been for her through the pandemic, and she was buying this guitar for her husband, and it was great. It was just great to actually have that conversation with real people.
Unfortunately, something that's beginning to fade away now. The big brands and the direct sales and all the rest of it. I mean, just the idea of spending that kind of money on a synthesizer I've never touched before is that people will actually do that.
I'm amazed that
crazy.
people buy things like guitars online, because I have to be honest, I would never buy a stringed instrument of any description, violin, guitar, whatever, without trying it. You know, I mean, you can do that to some extent with a synth, because if you've tried it at a show or you've been in a shop, and we actually that was one of the worst things. We've had people walk in, try a synth in the back of the shop, have a long conversation with me, and then you just know they were going to go and buy it online.
Right.
And we even say things like, you know, providing they're a Korg dealer or Yamaha or Casio or whoever because we dealt with all of them. We never really got on with Roland, but there's a story there. And you know, we would say we would price match providing they were a legitimate dealer.
Yeah.
But they would still go and buy it from, you know, Gear for Music or whatever. Yeah. The problem we had with Roland was not to do with the synths, because we never. I did talk to their synth rep at one point, but we never got anywhere. But we did do Boss and the sort of Roland amps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, we were a small shop in a market town with a turnover about 150,000, and he wanted us to put all of their pedals in stock. This is the whole range. And we said, well, actually, you know, you can see where we are. We can't. I mean, that's
about 60 pedals or something, 60, 70 pedals.
And you can imagine how much that costs at trade.
Yeah.
You know, so we did take them. We took some of them, but the relationship never flourished really. And it is about relationships with these companies.
Yeah, of course.
It's about human,
of course.
you know, about the human contact. I mean, the reason that we were done so well with Korg over the years is because those guys are great. You know, not every product that Korg comes out is great. They do some weird and wacky things from time to time, but the people at Korg, certainly Korg in the UK, are brilliant.
Yeah,
You know?
and what a nice thing to hear, because they've been on fire as a manufacturer for a while actually. Just so much positivity, so many great products, and it's lovely to hear that someone right up the top there is. You know, is actually, you know, having people. It's about the people, as you say. They're employing people who are good at getting relationships going and going out there and supporting small and large. They had a
trade dealer day, or probably back end of, it was 2019, I think. And we were well looked after for the whole day, and there was loads of all the dealers were there, you know. And I mean, I know the managing director of Gear for Music, Andrew. So he was there, and we were having a chat and all this sort of stuff. But then the MD of Korg UK came down and went, "Are you all right, lads?" You know, and he was said, "Are my people looking after you okay?" And he was just, it was
nice.
you know, it was really, you know, if there's anything you need, just you know what. It was that sort of. It didn't matter that he was the top dog. You know?
Yeah, no, that is nice. That is, and it's old school. So there's no excuse for not having it as well. The faceless kind of things, but it is very, very hard. There's a small music shop around the corner where we live, which is lovely. And they primarily guitars, funnily enough, and they had a problem with Fender forcing them to take. Yeah, you know, it's a similar story, I think. And now you know,
Fender, Fender and Gibson, I think. Gibson might be different now because there's been buyouts and all that sort of stuff. But Fender are notorious for actually dictating to dealers how many guitars you will take each quarter.
And you have to work out in advance, allegedly.
So if you want if say the Mexican guitar is the one that everybody wants, you've got to take these other ones as well. But you can't sell them, you know. Yeah. And some of the bigger stores, they've even been known to put their own person in, or their own salesman.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Wow, that's intriguing.
Yeah.
Paul Artola's saying, missed it if covered before, but does the store also sell brass instruments?
We did.
Wow.
We did. Yeah. I mean, I know nothing about brass instruments at all. And we still do a little bit online, but usually what we do with that is sort of drop ship. So you go straight from the distributor to...
Right.
But luckily, there's a chap in Pocklington who we would always... if anybody came in wanting a repair, we wouldn't take it. We'd send them to him. So he got that business. And if we had something that, you know, was a problem, we would pay him to do the work.
That makes sense.
I don't know one end of
No, but it's nice to be able to supply it with the confidence that you can back it up. Cheers, Mark Gardner, Pierre the Acid Clown. He's got a date. So big love in the chat. Report in next week. Tell us all how it went. We'll be expecting you. Any other questions? Feel free to fire them in. Otherwise, we'll begin to probably wind down. I've got very, very early start tomorrow. Crazy travelling off somewhere exciting.
I don't do early unless I really have to.
Me neither, to be honest.
It's the rock and roll thing. 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock
exactly.
I'm thinking about getting up.
I guess, though, the only other thing that we haven't necessarily touched on, we've done the performance and the musical side, we've done the label side. What it was like to be signed, I guess, back in those days is an interesting thing.
The little label that we signed to, like I said, they were a little local independent label, and they actually they had a label. They also had a music shop in York at the time, and so the deal was that we had this one album, a couple of singles, I think. But the idea was that they were trying to get us a bigger deal, and the band was doing really well. After we'd recorded the album, and it was released, we went on it was a tour of Yorkshire, to be honest, but it was but we did tour. I think we probably did 20 dates over a month, that type of thing. But actually, we started to get interest from, there was a bigger management company in Leeds that wanted to manage the band. And I remember sort of having this guy turned up at the gig, at one of the gigs, and said, so who are you? And I went, I'm the keyboard player. He went, oh, you've landed well, haven't you? And I'm thinking, that's a bit cheeky, And then we had we had Arista, I think.
Right.
A&M turned up at a gig. And it all got really exciting, thinking we were going to get signed to a major.
Yeah.
And just like smoke, it disappeared.
Yeah.
And we sort of limped on for a bit, and then the band sort of split up. Really,
the momentum's hard at that stage, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was because there was all these. We were here. Oh, so and so's in tonight, and so and so, and I mean, the gigs were selling out, which was brilliant.
Wow, brilliant! Yeah, that is brilliant. Wow.
I mean,
wow.
For what was still considered to be a small local band, So it was quite exciting for a while there. For a few months, it was like Somebody went, "You're the keyboard player out of so and so, aren't you?" I went, "Yeah." Can I buy you a pint?
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Wow. So, yeah, those were the days. It can still happen as well. It's
exactly. It can.
Yeah, I just remember there's so much competition, and as is there now, obviously.
Yeah, there's even more now.
For being a hot band, there's so many levels. And to be honest, when you got the deal, your problems really start. People thought that would be we get signed, bang. Well, it's down to your 1 in 10, I think.
There's a couple of little bands here. There's quite a good record label in York, actually. I don't know the guys, but I know of them, and I know some of the artists that they've helped. There's a band called Bull, who got signed to, I think, EMI.
Right.
They were signed back in 2019, I think. Albums come out, album's great, but they're not, I don't see them anywhere. I don't
pushed out anywhere. Wow.
I don't hear them. I don't hear them touring so much, really.
It's very hard.
So what was the band called that I joined? Yeah, I joined a band called Nerve Centre.
Ah, okay. And the Bloody Marys you mentioned, weren't they a Bristol band?
Marys, yeah. No. There was two Bloody Marys.
Okay.
This was the actual band was called. Half of it was from York and half of it was from Leeds.
Right.
It was Ryan Shirlow and the Bloody Marys.
Okay, because I remember I went to college in Bristol, and I'm pretty sure there was a Bloody Marys down there as well. But
so we were a sort of folk punk band.
Oh, cool.
I played organ, piano, and no synth. There was no synths, I don't think at all. Accordion.
Oh,
and I'm not the world's best accordion. I can.
That sounds great.
And the highlight probably was we did get a manager, a guy we call the Fat Controller, and the highlight for us was one of the years that it was when Glastonbury wasn't on. We managed to do the main stage of what was the Sunrise Festival.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. And we got on their CD and stuff like that, which was organised by the manager, which was brilliant, really. You know,
Nice.
And he was because he's a bit like sort of Malcolm McLaren type character to some extent. Was great guy actually. We're still friends, and he was he's a journalist, so and he'd worked in Fleet Street back in the day, and so he'd come up with these schemes, and he came up with a scheme to sell us on eBay. So we were the first band to be sold on eBay. And we actually did 2 concerts. I can't remember how much people bid for us. It was probably about 150 quid, something like that.
Right,
you know.
right.
And we did somebody's 21st birthday party. And then the second gig was a lady who became a very firm friend. Sadly, she passed away. She's an author, a lady called Helen Cadbury. And we went and played in her kitchen.
Oh, fantastic!
So we turned up and played. She had a party going on, and and it wasn't a very big kitchen, you know. But we played in her kitchen. What a great
idea! What a great idea! Grace is saying, "Do you remember a band called You Slosh?"
I played with the drummer at You Slosh.
Oh, there you go!
In a band with his brothers before he joined. A guy called because the drummer was Pat Connor Walker.
Wow!
So You Slosh were a great band.
So Grace saying, I cut my music and audio early teeth in York and Leeds. So you've got the similar kind of background. Grace is an amazing live sound engineer. Oh, yeah. Specialising
we need to get together in person at some point.
Definitely.
But yeah, You Slosh were a great band.
Wow. Well, okay. I think we've probably done. My word. And we can all. Thank you so much for coming on.
I've loved it. It's been absolute. Thanks, Dominic.
We've smashed £3,000, which is phenomenal. Thank you so much. Pat and Gem, says Grace.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You need to get together after the show.
Do,
I've posted the Ian's link tree into all streaming services that we're currently streaming on. So there is his YouTube, his website, his Twitter, everything you need to do to get in touch with him. And follow him and what have you. And that was literally just about 4 minutes ago. So scroll back up a little way and you'll see all of those in there. I'll also put them in after the video once it's crunched in a day or two. So when you come back on here, you'll be able to go and listen. I mean, it was brilliant. I'm sure there's enough of stuff in there to go for another 3 3 visits. So you'll have to come back. It'd be really cool.
To come back.
It'd be really cool. Excellent. Well, thank you. Thanks to everyone in the chat, our lovely supporters, everyone that's put some super chats in there or just come by and said hello, or just listening to this on replay and just lurking. I know there's a few of you around, so thank you so much for the support. It's very, very much appreciated. I've actually got a couple of non-live videos underway at the moment. How about that? Mr. Wiggly does some real videos again about proper products and stuff, so hopefully there'll be something coming out next week or the week after. I always say that, but this time I think they're almost finished this time, so it should be good. Thanks a lot to absolutely everyone. We'll be here next week. I think Juanito is going to come on next week. His Tin Can Synth band. He did come on in the very, very early show, and he's the guy that's made this enormous modular out of circular tins into which he builds these amazing things. And if you saw the last one, he made a microphone the day before he was going live, so it sounds amazing. But he had this microphone hanging out here, and he's just a brilliant guy. Hopefully he's going to be on next week, which will be good. So we'll find out. Apparently there's been a lot of changes to his rig and the way it's been working and his live streams, so really good. Otherwise, same time next week. Be absolutely cool to see you all again. Tell your friends. If you hit the like, and especially hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it. And other than that, 7:00 next Sunday, and we'll see you again. Thanks, Ian. And
thanks very much, and thanks
really
chatties. It's brilliant. Thank you.
Cool. Take care, guys.
See you later. Bye.
Connect so with the herb mic, link up the harmonize, bless the termite. But beyond obsolete blessings, a birthright. We live a life which a lot for me, no side worldwide. Cosmic love energy, I go herbicide free, organically, me say worthwhile. Watch the way one of you change her points in terms of definitions and some termites get sidecheck the eye. One side is defined by one side the other. I.e. I am an ideas man. I assign too much of the qualities of my child. Who's way up talking like there's two of me? One is a construct, one is a creativity. The supreme one, all encompassing information in and of itself, most definitely. Another life infinitely, most life infinitely. Beyond the scripture, niceness can be. Blessed be. I continually, Mr. Pick up a being, that's the infinity.